seeking to find the truth. This is what Who I Am is essentially about. So you do hear me saying this in many of my guided meditations, and it is not without a reason that I have dedicated an entire yoga retreat in 2026 to this theme or path. But who would have thought that it is also one of the main assets in Tantra practice? My very special guest today is not only a Tantra facilitator, and honestly, there are so many questions I'd love to raise about this topic, but this is for another episode. He is also a physiotherapist, a fitness coach, a fellow yoga teacher, and he is co-hosting multiple hybrid short and intense trainings. As a man of many talents, in fact, Andreas is convinced that doing less leads to being more. Thank you for sharing some of your wisdom with us today. Thank you for being here, Andreas.
Let's talk about expectations and the need to please everyone around us. And sometimes we forget ourselves about this. So first question, why do you think it feels so hard for us to say no?
Thank you for being here. I'm very happy to be here with you. The one thing is it's connected with self-worth, fear of rejection, or to hurt someone. That's the other thing. For me, and also for people I work with, the connection between I can say no to someone and still be loved, or still love the other person, respect the other person, is, for me at least, not something I grew up with, and I didn't have the feeling society wants us to be in that way. How to come out of this is to just do it with little things, little small steps. Just saying no to a glass of water, probably. At least for me, I developed the skill of saying no with things that are not really that important to me. That's probably one thing I would advise everyone. That's probably the most important thing in everyday life. If you want to change something, to start with small steps, 1% better every moment or every day.
Thank you for this perspective, because I feel like it's so relatable. We just never learned to behave that way, to build a pattern that allows us to say no without feeling rejected or without still maintaining that love and the connection between people. Thank you.
Yeah, there's something else coming to my mind. Imagine you want to meet the expectations of everyone. That can't work out. Like in a realistic thing, if there are 3 people and they have different expectations and you want to meet all of them, you have to disappoint one of them. There's no chance to meet everyone's expectations. That's the one thing, just the external thing, and internal, you just abandon yourself. There is no real self, and you disconnect with yourself, and yeah, that brings a lot of challenges to your life, probably. At least it brought some to my life.
Can you explain in what way?
My biggest problem probably was to meet expectations of others, afterwards regretting it, and then getting angry at them. So biggest thing for me was not taking responsibility for the things I did, and then getting angry, getting heated up, and that's probably not a thing where at the end you meet in connection and love. So I was disappointed, the other person was disappointed, so no one was getting anything out of that.
Thank you for sharing that. If someone feels torn between people pleasing and authenticity, what can anchor that person? Like if you're like in the middle, you want to be authentic, but you don't want to disappoint someone. What can anchor you?
If you don't want to disappoint someone, you probably also should go after the things you want to do. For me, it's like thinking also about the future, not just this one moment, like not disappointing now, but how is it going in the long term? And I guess you can't handle all the masks and all the favors for a long, long time. Because sometimes it's said like, yeah, people are so rude now. They just say no to everything. They don't want to take responsibility, but it's taking responsibility to say no. And you doing the other person a favor of like saying no and showing your true self. It's a skill. It's a skill to find it, and it's not a certain formula. It's just step by step trial and error. And probably you will fail if you want to see this as failing. But that's the thing, it's in every process. It's like it's in physiotherapy, you do try and error. It's everywhere in life, you have to try, and it's okay to fail. Just stand up and try it again. There is no perfect. Everything is perfectly imperfect, as you say in Tantra.
Moving on to another very present topic of our today's stimulation, mental loops, the feeling of addictions that we create. Why would you say does stillness feel threatening for so many people?
Because it's unknown, and unknown things are threatening for a lot of people. For me, it's not the silence, but I can tell in other things that unknown things are threatening to me. And in the silence, it's where you really have to feel, and probably getting out of your mind and into your body. And that's probably a thing we get detrained. I think as kids, we are able to do that, and hopefully as grown-ups or teens. But as life goes on and you move into society, school, work, I guess it's just important to function, to perform. And self-esteem or self-value is connected to performance. So the one thing is that you want to perform always to be worthy, and the other thing is that you probably don't want to stop because you feel maybe, or in most cases, then unpleasant sensations or unknown sensations or emotions. Is it friends or is it me or patients of mine? They tell me that a lot. I mean, they might not know, but they tell me indirectly, or some realize, and then you just avoid the silence because it's uncomfortable, and it's easier to be distracted by movement, by doing things, by ticking boxes, and that gives some kind of self-worth. Even here, for some people, if they're listening and I'm taking breaks during talking, it might be uncomfortable already those few seconds. I had that quite a few times in my life, and I could see people were waiting for my answer because I'm taking my time. It's the need to perform, I guess, and it's not to feel what is really there. So the mind makes up things, stronger sensations that are more pleasant than the ones we don't want to feel.
That's so true, yeah. From your own experience, what is the best thing that can come out of stillness, out of sitting in stillness?
So much creativity. It can be like, if you're in a business context, it can be like a business idea, or maybe you find yourself like, what do I really want? How do I really feel? A lot of health benefits, like to stop, to just breathe and observe the breath, or just do nothing, brings so much health benefits, recovery. Your mind gets clear after some time, even though it might be busy in the first moment. For me, it's almost unbelievable not to stop and not to be in silence. For me, it brings true happiness and bliss.
Wonderful. I automatically feel so much calmer when you say this. Do you have an own life experience of being overly stimulated and going into this mental loops, and what helps you in that moment?
Yes, I do. The last weeks before I came here to assist, I had so many things to do, like making time free for those 4 weeks. As an self-employed, is like do this, do that, do this, do that. So many different businesses, and then I catch myself with already being stimulated from the things I really have to do, just in the breaks, getting onto my phone, always distracting myself with senseless things. And it's so interesting when I catch myself looking at the phone and like thinking like, oh, that's so stupid. Like that's not at all giving me any energy and overstimulating me. And the thing is, if you're in this circle, your sympathetic nervous system is so on fire that it's hard to calm down and to switch into this phase of relaxation. And for me, I'm so happy that I realized that. Many years in my life, it wasn't like that. The first step is awareness, like to bring awareness. I'm doing this, and to see like that's not serving me and to let it go. For that, it's really important to be kind to yourself. Like if you find yourself scrolling and then you beat yourself up for scrolling, then it's going down even more because you have even more stress. You don't trust yourself. It's just, yeah, I do that. It's not good. I can stop now. And if you start again 2 seconds later, it's fine. Just notice it again, let it go. And that's the thing that helped me the most, to not beat myself up for that. Just do what you can moment by moment. To recognize it, make a plan, or just do it, and then be kind to yourself if you don't get it, and try another one.
It seems like it takes a lot of conscious awareness to work that way. You also said moment by moment. So it seems like you need to have this conscious awareness literally moment by moment. Would you say that's true? Is that even possible?
I don't think it's necessary that you're conscious about everything in every moment. Some things are just automized, but the thing is, you can create like habits that serve you or habits that don't serve you. And then I feel like if you want change, you have to take time and feel into it. And it can be once a week, evaluating your week, thinking back. There's so many steps how to do that. The most important step is the willingness to change and to take the time and just do it, not overcomplicate it. Making things simple and easy is very important.
Now, there's one more thing that I would like to talk about with you, and that is this huge topic of self-worth and the pressure that we sometimes feel to keep our lives together, to just hold it together and be strong at all times and not show, any weaknesses. What would you say to someone who feels like they're behind in life?
This is great. I have that feeling quite sometimes. So I probably can talk to myself and to others. Accept it that you have that feeling. That's the first step, not deny it. It doesn't bring you anywhere is the one thing, but also to recognize it and see, okay, that's what I'm feeling. And then you can either like go to the mind and make a plan, make a structure, how to get where you want to be. That's the one thing. And that's more like the superficial thing of fixing that. Probably there's something else to recognize, but that can be like a good step. because there is this mindset of like, I'm complete, I'm full, and I don't have to go anywhere. But on the other side, for me personally, I feel like, okay, I'm living on this earth. There is business, there is money, there's something that I want to reach, even though I'm interested in spiritual practices and being connected and love. So I really want to bridge those things. So for me, it's always like saying this one part and the other part, bringing that together as good as I can. And for that, I would like evaluate where I am, where I want to go, and then, but also look behind that to the roots. Where do I feel like I'm behind? Is it really me, or is it pressure from the outside? I can tell it's getting less with the pressure from the outside. It's more intrinsic motivation, where it's very challenging to grasp that sometimes. But to get there, to see what do I really want, is a big step, a powerful step to change something. And how to do that is probably to go in silence. What I like to do is to imagine I'm talking to a friend and giving suggestions to him or her. That's like bringing some distance to my thoughts. And usually I'm giving my friends better suggestions than I would give myself in the situation. And it's funny, you're just talking to yourself, but bringing the situation out to someone helps a lot. And I experienced that with so many people that it helps so much. But you can also do that like with a friend or family member, whatever. And being behind is relative. The thing is, you are there now, and you can just decide to change now or to accept how it is.
Thank you. You said that you can really relate to the feeling of being behind in life. Maybe there's some others, they really resonate with not feeling enough, like the constant feeling of not being good enough or not being smart enough, whatever, like not being good enough. In your opinion, where can these people start healing this self-belief?
The thing is, what is the truth? If you ask 10 other people if they would say the same thing, if they feel like you're good enough when you do this, or when you are like this, and then you will see that they probably will tell different things. And then you might realize that you have to come back to yourself, because this good enough thing is something internal, which comes, in my opinion, with external pressure. And this external pressure is not someone putting it on us from outside. We are just projecting it from the outside. It's like we think, like, at least for me, I think like I'm not good enough. I have to achieve this and that. And it comes with comparing to other people. They are that smart. They look like this. They have this and that. And if you start comparing less, I don't say you don't have to compare at all. I feel like comparison is also something which can help you a lot to see, okay, I want some change here and there in life. How do I feel when I feel good enough? That's more like a mind perspective, and good enough is something that doesn't come with any achievement. It's like this internal feeling that you just are good enough. You have to find it yourself and cultivate that energy and that feeling. And I don't know, maybe some people are able to do that in one day. But in my experience, it takes years and years to detrain that feeling, that thinking of not being good enough. You trained it so many times, or like if you're thinking that multiple times a day, it's just your own reality. We create our reality. And as you created the reality of not being good enough, you can also step by step create the reality of being good enough. It's the same thing with like if you're um, if you're eating too much every day, your body fat will increase. That's something most people can relate to, and you can see it and you can touch it with the self-worth. you don't see it as much. And then when it's there, you feel like, oh no, I'm this and that. And then you probably have to take time to decondition that, to detrain that.
I like that comparison. It's something that you can't really touch, see, or grasp, but the way that you speak to yourself has such a great impact on your life. And I also like what you said in the beginning, that we're oftentimes just so much harder on ourselves than we are on others. Like asking a friend, most of the times they will give us a lot more grace than we do give ourselves. Thank you for that. We're coming towards the end, so I would like to close this off with one final question. What's one unconventional piece of advice you swear by, even if it doesn't logically make sense?
To do less and be more.
What does that mean to you?
For sure, less thinking, less performing, less acting, and just being, like sitting here, leaning back. I don't have something to lean into now, but feeling like leaning into it and cultivate that feeling of being complete and that everything is in place as it is. And at least for a few seconds, there's nothing to change. And I'm doing this on a regular basis since, I guess, 8 weeks. And it really improves my life a lot. Like, it gives me such a different perspective on life. On a day-to-day basis, it helps me to recover, to organize my nervous system, and also it helps to be kind to myself and also be kind to others.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. One last thing you have to mention. What's the name of your podcast?
It's MetaMed Yoga Podcast. It's like a meta perspective and mat for yoga mat. And yeah, I'm happy if you meet me there.
Wonderful. Make sure to tune into that. Thank you so much, Andreas. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
This kind of simplicity is exactly what you can find in your own truth. And maybe your own truth aligns with what Andreas had to share today. Maybe it aligns more with Christine, maybe with Till. That's why I love having so many guests on the podcast, where everybody speaks from their own real life experience. As Christine was saying, we're many billion people. Each and every one of us, we are unique in our own being, in our own truth, which is exactly why often we're so alone with our own challenges. When in fact we start opening up and speaking about them, we come to quickly realize that many others are facing similar challenges and that we don't have to go through them alone. So I invite you to share your opinion on this interview special, share your thoughts, share your perspectives as well. Come and connect with us. I will link every opportunity to connect with us in the description box below. And I send you all my love and light. I look forward to welcoming you back here for the next guided meditation interview special, or maybe to even meet you face to face on one of my retreats in 2026, a space for reconnection, self-exploration, and true transformation will be in Italy, Greece, and Guatemala. Take a few moments to look into it on whoiam-official.com. Cheers to you, cheers to life. See you very soon. Love, Becky. And And one more thing before you head off. If you have any questions or you would like to get in touch, learn more and grow more, check out my website whoiam-official.com or send me a message at Heal with Jackie. You can find me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to get to know you and work with you. So, see you there.